Okay, well, I am going to begin. My name is Anne-Marie Edgar, and I'm the Executive Director of Make a Change Canada. This is our information forum, and we like to call this Find Your Fit at Make a Change Canada. Today is Thursday, March the 7th, 2019. So before we really get into the presentation, I'd like to take a moment to introduce our staff to everyone here today. So first off, we have our team leader, Doug Cardiff, and Doug has been with our organization now for almost 12 years. Hi, Doug. And Doug is located in New Brunswick, up in the top western side of New Brunswick, almost poking into Quebec there. So welcome, Doug. Thank you very much for being here, and we'll look forward to hearing from you a little bit later on. And also we have Mary Alton attending today. Mary is our program manager, and she's also located in New Brunswick. She's been with us for a long time as well, nearing 11 years with our organization. So thanks a lot to you as well, Mary, for being here. And I'll call on both Mary and Doug a little bit later on. They always have some great nuggets to offer about our programs and services. And third, we have Rory Case. And Rory Case is our online community and content coordinator. And Rory's here today just to really oversee the technology in today's room and to do the recording of today's session. I do want to mention that we are recording today's session, so just bear that in mind. I also want to mention that throughout the session today, I will be mentioning some success stories of our clients and showing photographs of some of our clients. And I just want to assure you that we do have their consent in all cases to share these stories and photographs. So that's all been taken care of. And really there's some wonderful stories associated with our program. So I look forward to sharing this with you. And just finally, just skipping back to staff, next to me here on the webcam is Tanis Campbell. And Tanis is providing the ASL interpretation today. And Tanis is also located in New Brunswick, or Nova Scotia, pardon me. New to Nova Scotia, so. Okay, well, without further ado, we'll get moving here. So I really like this image here. I like it because it gives a nice visual overview of just what we are here at Make a Change Canada. Currently, we really have three separate areas of our organization. The first is an online business planning and career planning program called Disabilities. And secondly, we have our applied web development and design programs. And again, these are online programs where our clients are learning web development and web design. And then third, we have something new in our organization, and it's a social enterprise called Rogers Fire Nuggets. And this is really interesting, and I'll give you some detail a little bit later on as well. So that's really just an overview, the big picture view of Make a Change Canada. But just to kind of give you a bit of an idea of where we grew out of as an organization and what brought us to the point we're at here today. So our history. So Make a Change Canada was actually originally called the Canadian Society for Social Development. And our organization was started in 2004 through the Community Futures British Columbia organization. And that's similar to the CBDCs, the Community Economic Development organizations that you have in the eastern part of Canada. So they started this organization because they don't have a mandate to deliver such programming nationally. But they had the person within their staff who had the interest in developing these programs, and they just really championed the organization getting started and getting its feet on the ground. So you can see here that right off the bat, again in 2004, we received the Minister's Award of Excellence for Innovation and the National Award for Community-Based Learning Opportunities. And that was for the Web Development and Design program. And the reason why there's such a close time frame between the organization being created and the awards is that these programs were actually offered initially through Community Futures, but I really want to emphasize that they are award-winning programs. In 2005, our organization gained its charitable status. And then moving along, what changed in the organization, and this was really a turning point, was when we opened up our web development and design program to anyone who qualifies. I mean, I must say that our clients, 95, close to 100%, face some sort of employment challenge, but historically the program was only available to people living with disabilities, and that all changed in 2008 when we opened up the program further. Then really skipping ahead 7 years to 2015, that's the year when we changed our name to Make a Change Canada. And as well that year, we gained national accreditation under the Imagine Canada Standards program. We also made a shift that year in terms of opening up our Business Abilities program to become more than just a business planning program. I mean, it's always had a component of the job search. We've always had the online tools for job search and preparing for becoming employed, because really self-employment isn't suitable or preferable to all clients in our program. So there's always been that side option. But we changed the form of agreement that we have with the federal government to give us more tools and resources. We became a community coordinator organization, and that gave us so many more ways to provide services to our clients and offer more opportunities and assistance. So that was really a key year. In 2018, we gained certification through Employment and Social Development Canada as a certified educational institution, and in the province of BC, an exemption from being required to register. So that really is important because it recognized our web development and design program as being an essential career development program tied to real labor market opportunities and offering programs that are accessible to people in our country who otherwise would not be able to access such important training. So that's really the big points in our history. But when you nail it all down, we have a solid history in providing online training programs. And really, we are the pioneer in the field of providing online training to people facing employment challenges. And to date, we have served over 2,500 clients through our programs. So it's interesting to take a look at our mission statement. We do have a whole series of guiding principles, but I'll just read you one portion of that, which is our mission statement. Our mission is to develop and deliver online training, programs, and mentorship to anyone facing barriers to employment. We are a hub for job seekers, employers, and partner agencies seeking to empower themselves or others to realize their full economic, social, and human potential. And I can see that Mary Alton is pasting some URL links into the chat area. So feel free to venture on and learn a little bit more if this is of interest to you. So, you know, we really have to ask ourselves, what is so important about what we do, and what is different about what we do? And who takes our programs, in other words, why? So our programs are really open in terms of eligibility. That's really the first significant difference between our program and some other educational programs. So it's all about opportunities. Our clients really benefit from a flexible learning environment as well, so our programs are online. We find that a lot of our clients, particularly in the applied web development and design program, want to build and maintain their own website. A lot of our clients as well are here to develop or expand their skill sets. So to pick up some really important skills, whether it be in entrepreneurship in business or in the technology sector. All our clients probably inevitably want to have the ability to earn more income. That's really important. A portion of our clients do want to work from home. It isn't all our clients. Some really want to get out into the community and work in the community, but we do see a lot of our clients wanting to eventually work from home. And I've got to say that what we've learned over the years is a lot of our clients look for quality programming. That's really important, and we do find that our clients really do their homework and will check out our programs in detail before really going ahead and committing to our programs. Now, here's the really neat thing about our programs in particular. If you're a coffee drinker, or if you really live that balanced lifestyle that a lot of us really focus on nowadays, the flexibility allows for that, and plenty of coffee breaks. I'm a coffee drinker, so I sure appreciate being able to work in a flexible work environment for that reason. That's my little joke, and I promise you that that's my only joke for the whole presentation as well. Okay, so really drilling it down further, what are the program benefits? And I've really outlined these, but I think it's nice to recap the benefits of the program. It's really the greatest flexibility in educational programs are offered through the online delivery, and our programs are also supportive in nature. So what you'll find in our programs is a lot of close follow-up with participants in our programs, really checking in, just really creating an atmosphere of openness and providing that support and encouragement all along. Our clients can work when they want and can continue to meet their daily obligations. So we find that a lot of our clients have caregiving responsibilities with either children that they're caring for, parents, other family members, and so on. So they can continue to meet those obligations. They can receive the assistance when needed and, of course, the ongoing support. There's also an opportunity to network with other participants. And as well, we really like to highlight our participants' work as much as we possibly can. So there's an opportunity to gain some exposure for your work through our programs. The really interesting thing as well is that our clients can maintain some freedom, mobility, and leave themselves open to options such as even moving straight across the country while they're involved in the educational program, which is really unique, I think, and a real benefit. Or if things get tight, then our clients can also pick up a job, either part-time or full-time, and still continue on with their education. Okay, that brings us to who are our clients then. And because we opened up the applied web development and design program to really anyone facing employment challenges, our clients are really, your neighbor, your daughter, your son, your parents, people who are really just facing employment challenges. So there are a lot of challenges amongst our population in finding employment. So our clients are older workers, youth, parents, Indigenous peoples. We're serving new Canadians. We're also serving clients who are very well educated in some cases, down to really lacking in education. And we are serving people who are both unemployed or employed. We're serving clients who live in rural and remote areas, as well as within our largest cities. And we're serving clients who are new entrepreneurs, as well as seasoned entrepreneurs. So this is what I think really makes it interesting for us at Make a Change Canada, is that we're serving such a wide range and representation of our actual population throughout the country. So what brings them to Make a Change Canada? Again, I just refer back to the benefits of the program, and it's really the online and supportive nature of our programming. And this here as well, I've got to say that our staff is incredibly focused and committed to providing quality service and attention to our clientele. So here we have, actually, this is Doug from a number of years ago. And I can't speak more highly of our staff and how they really key in on providing individual service to clients in our programs. So I'm going to start just by describing our Business Abilities program in some detail. The Business Abilities program consists of website resources, so online tutorials, videos, and valuable business links, as well as worksheets throughout each module that our clients complete as they move through the program, which, once they're completed, form the basis for the finalized business plan. We also have webinars on a weekly basis in Go to Training on various business topics, as well as some of the new skills that are needed in the workforce in terms of commitment, leadership skills. So we focus in on some of those topics, but as well business topics such as marketing and so on. And of course, as I mentioned, we have business coaches within the Business Abilities program who each client that comes into the Business Abilities program is matched with. Now, the Business Abilities program, so how does it work? It's formed out of 8 specific modules, and not all clients complete all of the modules. They're all not necessary. For instance, there's a working from home module, and for someone who, say, wants to go out and start a store in their community, that module wouldn't be necessary. But for the most part, our clients move through the progression in the program, beginning with modules 1 and 2, and that involves really taking a deep investigation of their own personal situation, their resources on hand, and looking at whether it's really a sound decision to decide to become an entrepreneur, or whether it may be more feasible to look for a traditional job instead. So that's where our clients start in the program, is by looking at their career decision and coming to some decision. If they're moving into self-employment, then they begin with business research. And at Make a Change Canada, we firmly believe in the business research. And that is really at the heart of forming a solid and really an interesting business plan, and one that even through research in the initial stages, clients can actually pre-sell some of their product or service, or get that interest through potential customers they're talking to during the research stage, and setting their pricing at the right level as well. So we really are firm believers in the business research, and perhaps think of it as one of the most important aspects of business planning. Then in modules 3 to 7, these consist of sales and service, forms of business, and legalities. Again, the home-based business, pricing, and financials, preparing financial statements. It's all pulled together in module 8 with a business plan. And at that point, our clients then move into the business startup phase. And there's some self-led tutorials, but there's a continued support from the business advising staff as clients are starting up their own businesses. Okay, now what about eligibility? So Business Abilities, to be eligible, our clients must self-identify as having a permanent physical or mental disability that restricts their ability to perform daily activities. This is the really neat thing as well. There's no paperwork required. So there's none of these large disability assessments required. It's a really open access to gain participation in the program. Our clients must be legally entitled to work in Canada. They must require assistance to prepare for, obtain, and keep employment or self-employment. Now, they need to have the ability to read and work in the English or French language, and they cannot be currently collecting employment insurance. That's a definite. And they're a little bit more flexible on this, but they must not have collected EI within the last, it's actually 5 years. But really, this is an open program, and even then, it's very flexible in gaining access. There can be requests made, even under those circumstances, to be able to participate. So again, just emphasizing that business abilities is specifically for people living with disabilities. So what types of disabilities are disclosed to us? This is really quite interesting to look at, and this particular word art came out of a study that we did. It was a research study that we completed during 2011-2012. And I know that the findings for us were really enlightening, even though we feel like we see all of the information coming in on a daily basis. It isn't until we did this study and had all the results compiled that it really hit home for us. So what was really interesting about the study, you can see that our clients are reporting they're living in a lot of pain on a daily basis. There's mobility issues. You can see spinal here, injury. So there's a lot of spinal cord injuries, back pain, just problems getting around, whether that be due to diabetes and that sort of thing. But then there's a lot of mental health issues, and it's really predominant in this word art, the bipolar, anxieties, big depression. So our clients really are living with a lot of mental health issue as well. But we're also serving clients from the full range of disability. And probably by now, we've been doing this for over 14 years now, and we've probably seen almost the gamut of disability types within our program. But what was really interesting about this particular study was that our clients reported they're living with a significant level of pain on a daily basis. And we're talking a high proportion. The majority of our clients report living with daily pain. But at the same time, we did a measure of quality of life and how they're viewing their satisfaction with their life. And they reported that their quality of life was equally as high. So even though they're living in pain, they're really enjoying their life and viewing their quality of life very favorably. So this was almost hair-raising for me to hear that people could be living in such pain but still be enjoying their lives so much. Speaks really to, I think, the determination of our clients. So I think my audio may have just broken up a bit. I hope that wasn't the case, but I do apologize if it did break up a bit there. I'm going to move along to the next slide. And really at this point, I'm going to turn into talking about another of our programs. But before we do that, I'm wondering if I could just call on Doug, if you have anything to add about the Business Abilities program that you could expand on that perhaps I didn't quite cover, or if there's any reflection that you have in terms of your role as a business advisor working with clients. We'd really like to hear your point of view for sure.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. A couple of small minor points for the actual program. We used to say that it was self-directed. Basically, what that meant was that you weren't under any stress in order to complete the program in a very short period of time or in a period of time that might be difficult for you. We do have specific periods where we will evaluate the amount of time that it should take in order to get your business plan organized. But we're very flexible, and we will make adjustments to the coaching map and allow for a lot of things that are happening in your life. Just recently, as an example, I've got 3 clients at the moment who are going through some medical difficulties, and it's caused them to come to an almost a complete standstill. And of course, that's not really a problem. I want them to deal with their family situations first, and then when everything straightens themselves out, we will continue and work towards a business plan. And that's part of the flexibility of working online. One of the things that Anne-Marie has noted is that you can work at the Business Ability program. You can work at your worksheets, watch the videos, and all of the information that we have readily available at a time that's convenient for you. Many people have come into the program having a part-time employment situation, so they perhaps aren't available during the day and they can only work in the evenings. We're the perfect program for them because they can structure their life accordingly, and the Business Abilities program fits right into what their normal schedule is all about. So it's an important consideration as far as the program is concerned. Like I said, though, it doesn't roll out to infinity. We are going to ask you to become engaged, and we are going to ask you to demonstrate some enthusiasm and some passion in what you're doing. We've got some pretty phenomenal people in the program. I've been doing this now for a number of years, and I have met all varieties of businesses, and I am completely astounded some days at some of the things that are being undertaken. We've got people in show business, for example. We've got people in manufacturing health products, and we've got a number of artists who have distinguished themselves by winning awards and grants and things of that nature. So it isn't a program that is restrictive for you. If you have a dream about something that you would like to pursue, and we get pretty excited ourselves as business coaches, think through the process. We've all been and still are in business for the most part. I still have a production company as an example, and I do some other things as well. And so we have an interest in the communities where we live. We are constantly on the internet and getting information, up-to-date information on the latest developing trends and businesses that are coming to fruition. And we offer what we hope is some valuable information and and offer research direction for the clients thinking through to become entrepreneurs. Just recently, and we've been working on this one now for a couple of years, we've had an incredible interest in the cannabis and business. We've had clients who have examined those particular businesses and are giving serious consideration as to whether or not they're going to work with the provinces and work during the bleeding edge period, let's call it, of introducing a new product to the market. So we're there to support them and to help them with the research. We don't make decisions. We give them sufficient initiative, try to give them initiative, try to give them information so that they come to their own resolution. We've been very pleased with the reaction from the clients. For the most part, they have been enthusiastic in the program. They've enjoyed the association with us, and many times they come back and tell us how they're doing as far as their business is concerned. So if you do become part of the Business Abilities program and you get going and start looking at a particular form of business that you want to get into, a product or a service, whatever it is, we are really looking forward to working with you. if there are any questions, I'll take them. Someone will have to tell me if there's something on the board. I'm only working with one screen today, unfortunately. In Mary's part of New Brunswick, she has not been as fortunate as I have been with the amount of snow. In my particular area, we have had over 10 feet of snow this year, which is 3 feet more than what we had last year. So we're expecting some major floods when it does start to melt. But I've got 8-foot drifts outside my door, and so I've had to move my headquarters from my office to my home. So that's why you see a different background today.
Oh, geez. Well, Doug, what an amazing, I'm glad we're recording this, because what a wealth of experience, you know, you offer from so many angles, from the client end of things right through to your experience as a business coach. And thank you so much. I just really, really enjoy hearing from you, and I'm sure our guests today too as well. In fact, Troy has said, Doug Tardif, good to finally see you on webcam to voice, webcam in progress. So yeah, nice to have Troy and Toby here today, participants in our program.
Some interesting business ideas that he wants to try out at some point in time. So looking forward to what you do with your career, Troy.
Okay, well, thanks again, Doug. And I'll move along now to our other program area, which is the Applied Web Development and Design program. So really, this here in a nutshell is really describes our program. It is the home of Canada's original online web development skills training program. We're now in our 14th year of delivering this program, and it's been a huge success. It's been a really interesting evolution as well. So, but just to get down to the nuts and bolts of the program here, we have 2 streams of the program. The first is a 6-month introductory program, and this is really the essentials of web development and design that we teach. And then we have an advanced program, which is 4.5 months in duration. And this really takes everyone up to the next level in terms of web development. But again, what really ties this program in is that it's supportive and online, but it is teaching real marketable skills in coding, development, and design. And interestingly enough, this is what really makes our programs distinctive, is that it's combined teaching development and design. It's teaching both sides of the field to our participants, whereas a lot of programs have become very specialized now. So educational programs are either teaching the development or they're teaching the design. But I think that this is really a nice program, particularly, say, for our clientele that may have been out of the labor market for quite a while and don't quite know what direction they want to lean in. So they can really get the skills in both areas of the technology through our programs. Our programs do come with a fee, and the fee for the introductory program is $3,995. Now there's 4 courses in the advanced program, and each course is $495. These programs are fundable. So because we are a certified educational organization, these programs are really recognized as being fundable. So a lot of our clients can go out and locate funding from their local employment services office, or say through, if they're on a compensation program. If they are an Indigenous person, then the Indigenous training funds may fund their training as well as some disability training funding programs will do that as well. And though for any clients who are having to pay their own tuition, if it comes down to that, then we are able to provide a tax form as well. So it is a tax, there is a tax credit attached to the tuition payments. So moving along, what are the courses in the programs? In the introductory program, we're teaching really from the ground up. So the really necessary theory involved in web development, that's where we start. really, it's a fun course to start with the orientation and introduction to the internet. There's a lot of fun material within those courses. But then we dig right into proper site theory and design. Moving into the Photoshop courses, we teach in advanced and introductory web graphics courses. We're teaching the coding, the HTML and CSS programming, which is really what structures the whole internet. Then we're teaching site design with libraries and frameworks. So here is where students build a website using really the latest technologies, and they're building a light website in that course. They're using Bootstrap, and so that's a really great course and a really great technology to learn. And then our clients are learning the web marketing. So it's all fun and dandy to build a website, but how are you going to drive traffic to your website? How are you going to get noticed and actually be able to sell your product or service? So we're teaching that as well. And finally, there's a practicum component to the introductory program where each student is responsible to build their own customized website. And this is under the direction of the program supervisor, so the instructor. In our advanced program, a little bit different here, we're teaching more coding. It's the PHP and MySQL database. And this is a combined course. These two courses go together. And these are really marketable skills, very much in demand in today's labor market as well. And then in the IBDE 208 course, it's called Tools for SEO. And that's taking the web marketing that one step further and really getting into marketing websites. Finally, we're teaching a course called Blogging for Business. And in this course, we're teaching WordPress, CMS, and students are responsible in this course to configure their own customized WordPress installation on a server. And that's another great skill to have. So not just this drag and drop type of web development, this is true web development that we're teaching. And you know, I mentioned in our introductory program, students are learning the light coding the light websites, and in the advanced program teaching WordPress, those are really heavy websites. So that's really great learning as well, to have that perspective on the different types of websites. So this is a really, I mean, I can speak for myself. This is a really great program. So here I go again. I get very enthusiastic about the whole topic of what we're teaching. And I think this is really because over the years, I'm seeing how well our graduates are doing. It's really inspiring to know that these courses that we're teaching are really ending up in real results with our clients finding employment or becoming self-employed. So really what happened here is that we've got a boom in the IT field. And so the opportunities are really limitless and unprecedented. There's a lot of material out there, and we can provide that for anyone interested on the boom in the IT field. But what we've found over the years is that our clients are moving into 4 distinct areas of the economy. So our clients are definitely finding employment in the information technology sector, like traditionally, when you think of it traditionally as web programming, building apps, being a webmaster, doing graphic design, setting up e-commerce, and also doing project management work. So there are our clients who have found employment at quite a high level, being project managers as well, meaning that they're managing teams of developers. So we see people coding websites, but also managing big projects. And we definitely still have students coming into the program who are entrepreneurs and want to build and manage their own websites. So that's still a very very logical progression for a lot of our students in the program. We have clients, and this is really interesting. getting jobs in the administrative field, because it's really not enough to be able to answer a telephone or type a letter anymore in today's economy. Employers today are looking for employees that can write their blog, that can edit the website, update the website. So this is super exciting, particularly, let's say, for older workers or youth that are lacking in either the experience or the recent experience working in the business field. But by picking up these skills, they can walk into a job interview and really outperform the competition and say, hey, I can edit your website. I can do your HTML emails and all this. And it's really, really neat to see that people who thought they couldn't get a job can take our program and then really go out and be competitive in the labor market. We see a fourth stream of clients coming through our program who kind of similar, but their background may have included working in a marketing field. So perhaps as an event coordinator, doing some work in community relations, this type of thing. But again, where they're lacking is having technology skills that are needed to really flourish in the market in today's world. So for instance, we have a graduate from British Columbia who worked in the past as an event coordinator, mainly as an event coordinator. And today she's running a flourishing marketing business. And she's gotten to the point now where she's able to actually pick and choose the work she takes on and even turn certain customers away if she's not interested in taking those jobs. Now, she was actually at a point in her life, so she wasn't that along in age. She wasn't too far along in age, but she was a single mom and she had a son living with a disability. And she was being continually called away from her job because of his behavior issues, to the point where she finally lost her job. Her employer just couldn't put up with that, but for lack of a better word, any longer. And she was faced with the possibility of having to go on social assistance. So she was going through that process and she was being told, you're going to have to sell your car. And she thought, well, if I sell my car, then I can't take my son to his medical appointments. So she was in an awful situation. But then she managed to hear about our web development and design program, and she was able to get the funding to take the program. And as I described, where she is today, she's at the point where she's earning good money and she's able to pick and choose what work she takes on. So there's a lot of possibility as well in the marketing field. So I hope that gives you a really good idea of, the potential that can happen with marrying your passions and your past experience and your talents with learning the new technologies. So, and I can see Toby saying that she wants to take the Web Advanced course and, would really welcome seeing your application come in for sure, Toby, and love to see you take the program as well. So what is the eligibility for the web development and design program? As I mentioned, we did open up the program really to anyone facing employment challenges, and we did that in 2008. But what we do find is definitely 100% of our clients really do need a specialized program such as this in order to really participate in the program, be accepted, number one, but also receive the support along the way and successfully graduate. But we do have really an easy entrance. We do require grade 12 education or mature student status. Really, we like to see our clients as well having a specific interest in learning web design. They must at least have basic or intermediate level computer skills. So if somebody can't send an email and can't attach a file to an email and send that, like if they're totally lost, then we wouldn't recommend they take our program. We would probably refer them to a basic computer training course or alternative like that before they come back and apply for our program. Our Students must have a suitable computer and good internet, of course. And now this is a really demanding program. It is quite demanding, and our students must have the ability to commit the time required, which is on the low end 20 hours a week up to 30 hours a week to their studies. Then there can be some very intensive weeks as well. For the advanced program, our students must have successfully completed the introductory program to start, or they must be a successful web developer. And in addition, they must have intermediate knowledge of HTML and CMS coding. Applicants should be prepared to provide a portfolio of completed projects. So we really don't want to set anyone up for failure in the advanced program, and would like to see people really starting out on a good footing. So the eligibility, while it's allowing people to get involved in the education who normally wouldn't have the option, we're really not setting our clients up for failure. So a little bit more about the Web Development and Design program. The application process involves an online application, then a basic computer skills assessment, which is completed by the applicants, and pretty brief interview, a 30-minute telephone interview. Now, I've got to say that over the years, I haven't seen a lot of our applicants who follow through with the whole process denied entry into the program. So I think that that should be encouraging to anyone who wants to apply to the program, that really our applicants seem to come to us highly suited for the training. So I would definitely encourage anyone interested in the program to go ahead and apply. What have you got to lose? So yeah, I'd get the process started. We've got some intakes coming up here. We've got the advanced program coming up in July 2019, and that is for our current set of students now going through the introductory program. And we're also this year going to start a second intake, so we expect to start another introductory program as well during July 2019. And we just continue to cycle this advanced program in January and another introductory group starting this should be 2020, but starting in 2020. So the program features, much like Business Abilities, a structured online curriculum, live classroom sessions with the instructors, video tutorials, and practicum projects in both the introductory and advanced programs. Okay, so that's an awful lot of information. I want to get into really telling you some stories, rather briefly, but telling you some stories about some of the clients who have been through our programs and really some of the faces that come our way. But before we do that, I'm just wondering, Mary, you've worked in the web development program. You worked there previously for a number of years, and I'm wondering if there's anything you might add that I didn't quite cover or anything else at all.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. Everybody can hear me okay? Perfect. I think the main thing that really strikes me in talking about both of our programs is the flexibility. I think that's such a huge factor when I see the different situations that a lot of our interested participants are facing from day to day. And the trend really is starting to move towards online training, online education. I think the nice part of that, as far as our program goes, is you still have staff available on an ongoing basis. So the support is continuous. It isn't completely self-directed, as Doug was describing for Business Abilities and as Anne-Marie has described for the Applied Web Development and Design program. So you still have the individuals here within our organization who are available to support you, to encourage you, to provide questions or answers to your questions, to provide that extra one-on-one time if you are finding that you're facing difficulties. I think that for people who are looking to also get a better idea of what their capabilities are in terms of taking on employment or taking on a new business. When you're spending potentially 25 to 30 hours a week dedicating to a course and learning and expanding your skills, I think you discover really quickly what you can manage. So for people, sometimes, yes, it may be a struggle, whether they're just taking the program and dealing with health issues, or if they're working part-time or full-time, maybe involved in a business plus taking the training. I think it's a real testament to each individual of really remembering just how much they're capable of. So sometimes I think people surprise themselves, or in many cases, because they may enter the programs that we offer feeling a lack of self-confidence, or maybe just not feeling like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can go back to work, or I can start a business. But then they see themselves being challenged week after week, and they make progress and they make milestones. And I think they become really excited because they rediscover just what they can do, just what they're able to accomplish. And it gives them a lot of hope. And we hope that everybody comes into the program, whether it be Business Abilities or the Applied Web Development and Design program, we hope everybody really just finds their fit. That, through the research that they've done prior to applying, that they realize that this is where they're meant to be. This is going to be another step to help move them forward and continue helping them to achieve their longer term goals. We're starting to certainly see a lot of people trying to decide between, do I want a position or job or business where I'm mostly working from home? Perhaps do I be out in the workforce? Is that what really feeds me? Do I like being out amongst the public? And I think because there isn't a restriction, we're not only working with people who want a work at home business or work at home job, vice versa. It doesn't have to be people who are looking at going out into the workforce. So I think it gives people a lot of options and a lot of time to also realistically determine what is going to be a really good fit for them. I always enjoy seeing the many different faces that come through our programs from year to year. We have people from all walks of life, all different situations, so many just incredible stories to share about what they've experienced in their life. And I really think it's such an honor and privilege to just be a small part of their journey. And this is what it is. We're really just another step in a set of steps that they're taking in their life to improve their life and to fulfill some dreams and to be where they want to be. Whether it's providing for their family, whether it's just having an area or a job that they just are excited about and feel passionate about again, and really just reap the rewards of what they're doing. So if you or anybody, if you're thinking about programs, feel free to get in touch with our staff. We're happy to talk to you, even in the initial stages when you're applying, and just give you a really good sense of what it is we do here and how we can potentially support you in your particular path. We will always do our best, but at the same time, I think we're very open, and we're happy to suggest alternatives if for whatever reason, you're working through a program and maybe there needs to be something that you're tweaking a bit. Maybe there's some decisions you need to make because you're starting to discover what your initial goal was maybe just isn't going to work. So we're happy to adapt to the changes and work with you to look at other options. So it's never just okay, you're not going to do one thing. Okay, let's look at another option. So, I hope people do feel that. I hope they feel supported. I hope they feel that, we'll do what we can to work with them as long as they're willing to work with it themselves. We'll be here every step of the way as far as we can, and then we wish them the best on their next set of steps in their journey, and hope we hear back from them and how they're doing, and hopefully it's all a very positive result.
Wow, thank you, Mary. That's just amazing reflection. I think you carry so much detail and all these experience of working with so many people. So really what you can express is so much different than I. So I really thank you very much for
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, taking a bit of a look here before we finalize the session, but just really an in-depth look at some of the faces, the people that come our way. And over the years, I've been able just to really come up with a few bullets. I would say that our participants are talented, determined, savvy, but in some ways stuck and needing assistance and a special program. Whatever that may be, in terms of maybe financially stuck, or stuck at home, living in a rural, remote area, being youth with no experience. So really, this really is in a nutshell a description of our clients in general. I'm going to just outline here a really quick story. This is Colin. Colin is from Surrey, British Columbia. Colin was one of our earlier participants in our program. He did come to us with a lot of experience already in the IT field. He had, in fact, already finished some prior education in terms of programming. But Colin is a wheelchair user, first off, and he had a position as like a tutor working in a computer training area for an agency in his community. Now, Colin was having to commute there and back every day, and this was beginning to take a toll on his health. So anyway, Colin heard about us. He heard about us through an ad on TV and decided to apply. He felt this would be the right solution for him. He really wanted to work toward being able to work from home, to be able to manage his health better. Both Toby and Troy will probably know Colin because, just through the years. But Colin's now an instructor in our program. So we continued to keep in touch with Colin through the years. And he started out with us doing some PHP programming. We brought him in to do some peer tutoring a few years ago, then an educational assistant. And now he's really working as an instructor in our program. So this is a wonderful success story, both for ourselves and for Colin. What he says here is that I don't know what I would be doing for a career if it wasn't for the web development and design program. So that's one of our real success stories and our colleague, Colin. Here's another client who's been through our program. This is Cameron, and he's from Ontario. So Cam really came to us as a youth, lacking experience, but also as a person living with disability. So Cam was referred to us through a career program in his community, and he came to us to take our technology training. And right after finishing the program, he was able to get a placement, and he was successful after a short trial in the job of getting a permanent position with that organization. Now, he ends his testimonial here by saying, completing a college program after failing to finish my university education was a great accomplishment for me. You have all been a really big help. So really at the crux of Cam's story is that Cam lives with a mental health issue, and he's very open about this. And in fact, he blogs about his particular form of mental health issue, which is bipolar disorder, which is a really, really difficult, really debilitating mental health issue to have to live with. And I only know this because of Cam's writing himself. Cam blogs about bipolar disorder. In such detail, he paints such a clear picture of just what, a ball and chain it can be to live with this disorder. But Cam being Cam, his association with us was he kind of breezed through the introductory program. He's very technically adept, and he had no trouble with the material in the program. But when he got to the advanced program, he had a health setback, but to his benefit, he was able to say, hey, I've run into this difficulty, and through the nature of our program being supportive and flexible, we were able to accommodate this because he reached out to us, you know, adjust things somewhat. And in the end, he was able to successfully graduate. So this is what we're all about here, is we really want to see people make that end post, but we're going to do what we can and be really open and listen along the way and help you along the way, provide the resources, the support to help get you there on your own 2 feet of your own doing, but we can make those adjustments along the way. So that's really what we're all about here. So anyway, that's Cam. I do encourage you to read his blog. He's got some video interviews that he's done on there as well, and it really can help you develop some empathy for certain for people going through bipolar disorder episodes and just what that's like. This is just really short, but it's a story of a more recent client through our programs. Elaine from Vancouver Island went through Business Abilities in 2017, and she just really put the gun to the metal there. And she completed her work in record time. She was so dedicated. And this here is actually a quote from Doug. I know Doug was very proud of Elaine. Her goal was to get her work into a storefront ahead of the busy tour season, and she was successful in doing that. So Doug had to say, "We wish Elaine much success as she completes her business plan and opens her doors to a busy tourist season." So before we wrap up here, let's just take a look at what do our clients say about us, because we can sit here and praise ourselves and talk about how great our programs are and all that. But as a result of completing that research, we also surveyed our clients in depth to learn what's really important to them, and stretching that further, what do they have to say about us? So I find this word graphic really interesting because you can really see what's important to our clients is supportive, accepting, being personable and understanding, patience in there, listening, but also experienced, of course. Of course, our clients want our staff to be experienced and to get the, you know, the best advice and the best of, but at the same time, equally important is all those human services that come along with our organization. I find it really interesting looking out here on the sort of the tips of the fingers and whatnot. You're seeing kind, and I wouldn't have expected to see this reflected back to us from our clients, but I think that's super important that our staff is viewed as being kind. So that's something that we really pay attention to, and you know, we try never to lose sight of. All these other things are really important, but at the heart of it, we're all human and we all want a little kindness coming our way every day. So here were some really interesting testimonials that came to us. And, you know, traditionally I never thought of our organization as being one that's helping to alleviate poverty. But that's a true reality. 67% of our clients, when surveyed, were living on $1,000 or less a month. That's absolutely devastating. But they come to us, and these are some of the outcomes for these particular clients. So Kalinda from British Columbia had to say, "It has been very difficult to come to terms with the changes in my life since the accident that left me with a brain injury 3 years ago. Programming in a quiet room is one of the few options I have now to contribute financially in my home. With this training, I have also been able to participate again in the business my husband and I built over the last 14 years. We are now able to offer web design as an option for our customers." Judy from British Columbia said, "Until I discovered Make a Change Canada, I felt completely lost and had truly given up on finding any work, let alone meaningful work that paid decently. It has been a huge come down from my previous life, and I saw no hope or way out. However, between the online webinars and my business coach's wisdom and guidance, I now feel hope and curiosity again. And rather than seeing no possibilities or opportunities, I see plenty. I feel excited for the first time in almost 5 years since it's been since my head injury. And I can let you know that Judy's becoming a successful audio reader. So she's a voice actor, and she's being recorded reading audiobooks, and she's getting wonderful feedback, wonderful reviews. So this is a huge success for Judy. Now, Willie from Saskatchewan said, the program was very detailed and instructive. The program is tremendously, and it will help us make a living. Being a disabled person, I need that because I can't go out to work. This program allowed me to set up a home-based business for me and my wife to work at home. So I hope you enjoy hearing that as much as I do. I think those are very, very meaningful testimonials. I mentioned that I would cover our social enterprise. So just briefly, we have started a social enterprise, and really what this is doing is it's providing an even greater opportunity for people living with disabilities to find some meaningful work through this opportunity. So we're beginning to engage people with disabilities in their own communities in the production of this, which is Rogers Fire Nuggets. And Rogers Fire Nuggets is both a convenience item to light a fire quickly, let's say at home, but also a safety item for being able to light a fire for survival, whether in the winter or safe for someone lost in the woods at any time of the year. So this is really exciting. We're just getting going with it, but this is another branch of our organization and direction that we're moving in now. So this really is a summary here and a look at our organization. So we are a national charity, and as the executive director, I really feel it's my responsibility and role to really emphasize that. So we are a national charity, and there are many ways to become involved. We have several annual events, and we're all about celebrating success. We love talking about success, and just what does success mean? It comes in all shapes and forms. So expect more of that from us in the future. This is a conversation that we really want to hold on a national level on an ongoing basis. I want to remind you that we, as a charity, do rely on donations in order to be able to provide the full level of support that our participants need to make it through to that end goal. So you may not in your life have the means, but think of it, if you have a friend or family member down the road saying, oh, it's donation time again, and I don't know what to do. I like to give back. You could go, hey, you know, there's this organization who really helped me out. And I would really recommend that they are a great outlet if you're wishing to donate. So I just want to plant those seeds of ideas for you. Okay. And also we are accredited, so any donor can feel safe in knowing that we have gone through the whole review in terms of being financially transparent. We have good governance, and our HR practices are sound. So we've been accredited on many levels through the Imagine Canada Standards Program. And to date, there's only been approximately 250 charities in Canada to make this achievement. So we're pretty proud of that, but also our donors can feel assured that their money is going to an accredited organization. We hold a student showcase. We have a number of things going on each year. So we do hold a student showcase featuring our students' websites, and that's a nice event to follow, and we'll put out some notices in future of our next competition. Now, we also produce a lovely desktop calendar featuring the work of our program participants. So we distribute this widely across the country. If any of our clients happen to have artistic talents, whether that be photography, painting, sculpture, jewelry making, any of the above, then we're happy to receive your contributions and consider publishing them in our annual desktop calendar. If you've been a client in our programs and you like what we do, if you really believe in what we do, then by all means, share your story. We're always looking for more success stories, more of your experiences, so we can learn more, so we can enlighten our followers more, or become a program ambassador. So that just means speaking positively about our programs. Do you have a friend that you can mention this program to that you think could benefit? So on and so forth, or attending our information forums. That's a great way to be an ambassador for Make a Change Canada. And also, I mentioned this in case we have any people from industry in our information forums are viewing the session. Hire one of our graduates, okay? So that's a great way to really become involved in Make a Change Canada, is consider hiring some of our graduates. Please do talk to us about this opportunity, and we can go from there. Or we do find also our graduates hiring each other. So think about collaborating and networking with one another and how you can help each other along in your career journeys. Our organization also involves volunteers in projects. So there's been some really neat projects along the way. And if you have an interest in volunteering, we're always happy to hear from you as well. Now, don't forget, we're on all of the major social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We have a group on LinkedIn as well as a company page. So the group's kind of nice too, but there are our social media. Please do follow us. We try to keep it light and lively, and would welcome your participation. And we do have an email list as well, and you can subscribe if you wish to receive, timely updates, success stories as they're coming out, and so on. Please feel free to contact us at any time. We have a toll-free phone line, 1-888-927-7473. We have our Make a Change Canada website, businessabilities, and ibde.ca, all with contact forms. So just feel free to reach out at any time, and we'll be happy to hear from you. So tying it up for today, we may have some questions following this session. We'll be happy to remain online to take any of your questions or comments. But for now, I'd just like to really wrap up the session. Thank everyone for attending and hope you enjoyed today's presentation. Again, thank you very much to Doug and Mary for the contributions from their perspective and their time serving in our programs. Thank you and have a great day.